Hello everybody, I'm here with our Deputy Fund Manager James Timpson to provide the latest monthly roundup on the markets. James, hi. Throughout December we were delivering our client seminars and you were reporting on performance throughout the year. How are the markets performing while we were delivering those seminars, and in particular what was going on while we were delivering our seminar in Witney?
Yeah, so firstly, of course, the big news leading into the seminars was this new variant of COVID, which sent the markets into a bit of a panic. So they had a bit of a wobble towards the end of November. But then throughout December, investors' panic just began to subside as it became more evident that perhaps this new variant isn't going to be quite as severe as people initially worried about. So markets actually began to recover quite quickly in December, and they went on to have a very good month. So the FTSE 100, for instance, returned almost 5% throughout December. And then, of course, on the day of the Witney seminar, the last one, we heard the news that the Bank of England was raising interest rates. So they went up from their all-time low of 0.1% to 0.25%. So it was only a modest rise, but I guess it was slightly unexpected just because there is still so much uncertainty surrounding the pandemic, and inflation isn't likely to go back down to normal levels until all of the supply chain issues are sorted out. So it was a bit of a surprise, but because of the rate rise, it ended up being a fairly negative month for UK gilts or government bonds. So it was a bad month to be invested in long-term bonds, and thankfully we've avoided those.
James, you mentioned that the volatility subsided somewhat as the Omicron variant story rolled out. How's it been performing a little closer to now as Boris Johnson appears to be holding fort in terms of avoiding any further harsher restrictions across England?
Yeah, so the lack of any further severe restrictions has been good news for markets, because if there had been any more, say lockdowns, for instance, then that would just hamper the recovery of the economy quite significantly. So the fact that there doesn't appear to be any sign of more severe restrictions being placed in means that markets have continued to recover quite quickly from that wobble that we saw when Omicron first entered the public consciousness. So yeah, markets have been doing really well over the last few weeks. And
Excellent.
So the year ended on a high.
Thanks, James. So investment team talking to Gary back end of 2021. You've got your strategies rolled out. I guess you're keeping eyes on the markets, holding your nerve, sticking to your guns, moving forward into the new year with some optimism.
That's right, yes. And as I mentioned in a couple of the Q&As at the seminars, hopefully volatility will eventually come down enough that we can start engaging in some option strategies just to provide that extra level of protection in the portfolios.
Excellent. James, we'll leave it there and I'll catch up with you in 4 weeks' time.
Great, thanks very much, Leo.
All the best. Bye now.